I get it, most people start by looking at the cheapest turntable and pair of speakers they can find online, only to end up with a lot of static, a wobbly platter, and a room that feels more like a hallway than a listening space. I've talked to a handful of vinyl enthusiasts who tried to save a few bucks on a starter set, and after a month of frustration they all wish they'd spent a little more on a proper system. That's why, before I hit record, I spent a solid weekend digging through forums, watching unboxing videos, and reading the finer points of the Fluance reference RT85 bundle. If you're on the fence about whether a premium Al-Anon system is worth the extra cash, stick around, you'll hear why this one might actually be the smarter buy. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the core issue most buyers face: the mismatch between vinyl playback and speaker power. A lot of entry-level turntables ship with a Phono output that needs a dedicated preamp, while the speakers that come with them are usually passive and underpowered. You end up with either a tinny sound or a setup that requires an extra box you didn't budget for. The Fluance bundle tackles that head-on by integrating a PA10 Phono preamp right into the turntable, a 120W Class D amp built into the bookshelf speakers, and even Bluetooth streaming capability. In real-world terms, you plug the turntable directly into the speaker's input, flip a switch, and you're ready to spin a LP or stream Spotify without rummaging through cables. Who should consider this combo? If you already own a decent vinyl collection and are looking for a tidy, single-source system that can grow with your listening habits, this is a solid candidate. The Ortofon 2M Blue cartridge is a step up from the generic moving mag heads you see on budget decks, giving you clearer detail on everything from delicate jazz cymbals to heavy-handed rock riffs. The speakers, finished in white walnut, are compact enough to sit on a modest bookshelf, but still deliver enough bass punch to fill a medium-sized living room without needing a subwoofer. On the flip side, if you're a true audiophile who plans to upgrade to a dedicated external amp or a high-end tone arm, you'll likely find the built-in amplification limiting. Likewise, if you already have a high-quality pair of passive speakers, you'll be paying twice for amplification you don't need. The biggest practical strength of the RT85 turntable is its platter stability. Fluance uses a belt-driven design with a heavy-duty acrylic platter that spins at a consistent 33 or 45 revolutions per minute. In my own testing, the platter stayed true even after an hour of continuous play, and there was barely any audible rumble when I placed a 12-inch vinyl with a known surface noise. That kind of stability is something you usually only see in pricier models, and it matters when you're trying to hear the nuance in a live recording or a vintage jazz session. Coupled with the Ortofon 2M Blue, you start hearing more of the record's original dynamics, nothing overly bright, just a balanced extension that lets the music breathe. On the speaker side, the integrated 120W Class D amp is a surprise in a bookshelf package. Many people assume you need a separate receiver or an external amp, but these speakers handle it all. I tested them with both vinyl and a Bluetooth stream from a phone, and the transition was seamless. The mids felt full, the highs crisp without being sibilant, and the bass, while not earth-shattering, was enough to make a small gathering feel lively. The built-in Bluetooth also means you can ditch the turntable entirely on a night when you just want to throw a playlist from your phone at the room, which is a neat convenience that most dedicated turntable bundles don't offer. That said, there are a few trade-offs to be aware of. The speakers, while compact, do have a fixed acoustic design that can't be fine-tuned beyond the basic tone control knob on the amp. If you ever want a more granular EQ adjustment, say, to tailor the low end for a high-rise apartment, the options are limited. Also, the turntable's belt system, while reliable, does require occasional replacement if you push the unit hard or expose it to dust. This isn't a daily worry, but it's a maintenance step you won't get with a direct drive turntable. Finally, the whole system leans towards a plug-and-play philosophy, which is great for simplicity, but may feel restrictive if you enjoy tinkering with custom cables, isolation plates, or upgraded tone arms. Let's imagine a realistic scenario. You've just inherited a modest collection of 1970s rock LPs and a handful of classic jazz records. You want to sit on your couch, drop the needle, and hear those records with a richness that reflects the original vinyl cutting. But you don't have a spare room for a massive rack of gear. You pull the Fluance RT85 out of the box, connect the phono output to the speaker's input, and within minutes you're hearing the warm snap of a vinyl.